Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
This week marks the first episode of the Dave and Juan More Time podcast, with one of them being not entirely of human origin. Juan had his knee replaced this week. Rumor has it he heard the Saints may be looking for a kicker, so we got the special Colonel Steve Austin model knee. It even makes that doo-doo-doo-doo sound when he walks. So enjoy the now partly robotic Juan Semino before his prescription of Oxy runs out. You're welcome, America. This is Dave and Juan.
And 3.
Number 2.
Follow it with a 1. Hey, America. You heard you missed us. We're back, and we've got artificial parts this time that we will tell you about.
That's right.
And you are welcome. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this Dave and Juan.
More time.
Yes, thank you. All right off the bat, we'll tell you if Juan sounds a little hollow today, he's recording, but not in the.
I'm not using a professional microphone.
He's not up in the Dave and Juan professional studios in Baton Rouge. He's downstairs.
That's right, because to go upstairs would require me to go upstairs.
He's slumming it downstairs today because in honor of our approaching 250th podcast. I know this is 249, but in honor
Us in America, man. Us in America.
250 at the same time. Juan wanted to make sure that he was fully prepared to take on the next 250, but so he had a body part changed.
Got me a brand new knee. Look, man, I got my little walker right here.
Those of you that are not watching it online, Juan's showing off his. Now we all have walkers in our future. You just didn't.
I just bought one early.
You jumped the line on that.
The gun. So
we did not talk about it.
No, I didn't even mention it last week.
No. This is so Juan. This is so Juan because last week we talked about this was upcoming. And we did a podcast on Monday of last week, as we are doing this one. Juan was in too much pain and sleep deprived on our normal recording day to do it. But leading in, he was only a few days away from. Is it considered
a few days, few hours?
It's considered major surgery, right?
I don't know how you define major surgery,
right.
I mean, it's
typically it's not
life-threatening.
It should not be life-threating, right?
Right.
Okay. But it's major. I mean, they
right. It's heavy-duty orthopedic surgery.
So he was getting ready to have that done and didn't even mention it on the podcast. And after we were wrapped up, he says, "Yeah, man, I'm going to be going
busy tomorrow. No.
Going to get so it's done. He's home.
It's done. I'm home. Hell, I was home that day.
Of course, they don't.
Yeah, they're not farting around keeping you in there, man.
Hospitals are weird that way. And I'm not trying to disparage hospitals, which when I say that, I'm about to. That there are some things that you think you might want to hang around just a little. But it usually comes down to insurance. What will insurance cover? And I'm sure you've got great insurance, but
no, I mean they send you home. I mean it's the intention. It's not okay if you're doing great. We're going to send you home. Like, hey, something goes wrong, you're going home today.
Yeah.
But physical therapy comes out that day to your house, which is like oh man, I didn't feel that bad. Then I was all cocky because I was still looped up, and this woman was saying, "Oh, tomorrow's gonna be tough," but some people, try to do this for 30 minutes at a time. I said, 30 minutes? I'm setting records tomorrow.
You were still drugged up and cocky.
I was still drugged up and ready. Dude, I can't do it for 30 minutes now.
Really?
Some of the stuff. They do like you get anesthesia, but you also get a spinal nerve block. So basically, you feel nothing
That's what would
from the
scare me.
waist down.
That's what would scare me. I've heard. Yeah, they can make a mistake on that.
Yeah, because you're sitting there, and that's the last thing I remember is you're in there, and then they got you bent over and leaning forward while they're about to stick something in your spine. And
Hey, let's just pause. We didn't give anybody the frisson alert. So, those of you that
yeah,
I don't watch surgery channels. I'm not that guy. I think my
yeah,
wife.
no, it wasn't. I mean, I couldn't see anything, but they're just sitting there saying, "Okay, you have to be very, very still." And I'm like, "How about you knock me out first,
That
and
would
then make
seem
me
to
get
be the
there?"
way to make. You're
Yeah.
right. That would seem to
So
be the way that. Why do they do that before they
I don't
put you
know.
under?
I guess I don't know because they've got to. I guess it's. I don't know. I'm making crap up. I have no idea.
Dude, that's what we
It
do. We
seems to
make
be,
crap up.
yeah,
If
it'd be the logical thing to do
Juan,
after.
if we had to know what we're talking about, this podcast would last 3 minutes a week, man. I mean, that's what we do. We talk about stuff. It just if it sounds good, it's not a lie if you right. If it's not a lie if
You're
you
right.
believe it. Um.
So, but
So
then they've asked, like in there, they say, okay, well, how tall are you? And they want you to be precise because they're trying to figure out, where is the vertebra that they need to hit
okay,
in
now that
relation to
that
your
would
height.
that would shake me up right there. Like wait. You
Yeah, when the therapist got here that afternoon, she said something about, she said, okay, how tall are you? This was after the surgery. I said, 6 foot half inch. Um, and I would never say, I'm not 6'1", and I don't, I'll just say 6 foot. But if I say 6 foot half or six and a half, so like, you're not 6'6".
yeah,
And she said, oh,
right.
and I guess when I ask you your age, you're going to say like 13 and 3/4. And she was making fun of me. And I said, hey, no, I'm being precise because y'all was sticking crap in me. So
Yeah,
just want
you
to make
guys
sure you
wanted.
got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you want to know when I'm going to get serious when you're about to stick a needle in my spine. That's when I'm not. That's when I'm not going to make myself taller than I
Yeah.
than I
Right,
actually
right.
am. But I'd have to start
Yeah.
asking questions like, I know I used to be taller than I am
Exactly. I have no idea how tall I am.
because I
In
stand
the
next to
scheme
my
of
sons
things,
now.
yeah.
I stand next to my sons now, and my instinct is always to say, "Dang, you guys are still growing." No, I don't think they are,
Yeah.
but they're taller than me. It seems that they're
Yeah, me
progressively.
and my dad used to be the same height. Now he's about a good 6, 7 inches shorter than me.
Wow.
I hadn't
Well,
grown in a long time.
so all right. So
But
which
so then
was it
one
the
of the
right
first
knee?
things is the right knee. And so you're in there doing like pre-op and everything. Um, and the girl's doing pre-op. She says, okay, which knee is it on? I said my right. And she says, okay, give me your
Wait.
left.
This is pre-op.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
they haven't
When you're
cut you
doing
yet.
right, you're just checking in, so to speak. You're getting there, you're checking in. They're
Again,
doing
this
like
would make me
paperwork.
nervous. This would
Nah,
make
where
me
they go?
nervous.
They ask you that 50 times.
Okay.
Um, but then so she said, okay, give me your left wrist. And they put the hospital band on your left wrist. And I said, please tell me that that's not a signal that, if the hospital band's on my left wrist, that on my left wrist, that means the surgery is on my right side.
I bet
They
it
said, oh,
is.
no, it is.
hundred
I
percent.
said,
Yeah.
well, well, God, I would think y'all would have a little better technology here, but let's go with it.
I've heard stories of where people like write on themselves in marker, like not this one.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, yeah. I've got because again, a week later, I'm still, just doing the whole bath because I can't get in the shower, can't get in the tub. So I've got
So
Sharpie.
hang on, Juan. God diggity. I'm, you're not on the professional mic this time, and it was sort of you got your voice is a little soft with an echo. And I thought you said I'm not taking the whole bath, and I'm thinking
No, I said
what's a
no, I
whole
said the
bath?
whole
You
the
said the
whole
whole.
bath.
All right, PG-13 version of the Dave and Juan podcast today, but
But so I've got Sharpie all over my leg still from where they marked it. Um,
how many
but
stitches?
then I can't even count.
Oh, a lot
Uh,
of them, huh?
yeah, no, I'm not going to show it on
No,
here.
I don't
I'll
want to.
send
Yeah,
you.
exactly. I don't. America does not need to see the picture,
Yeah,
and nor do you need to put it. You did put a Facebook um, picture of post. I guess post op when you're with your walker.
yeah, me walking down. my old man stuff. So all
We
right,
all looked at
I
that, but
just texted you the incision.
you don't have to you don't have to do like I want to sometimes react to some people on Facebook when they just put just like whatever wound they got right now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
man,
no,
if you were my child or wife, maybe I'd want to see that to help you, but random stranger or even somebody I used to know in high school, I don't need to see your
no,
incision.
no. I don't really want to see my own.
Correct.
Um,
Just tell me that it's doing
the
okay.
Yeah, it's there. They come every day. They change bandages. So I said, all right, that's good.
They used to do all that in
Um,
the hospital, but although now they've wised up over the years, and I think I don't know what that says about hospitals, but the quickest place to go to die is a hospital.
no,
You'll get sick. I mean, people get stuff. I mean, it's you don't want to be there. I get it. In the old days, they'd hang on to you for a while, but dude, if you're going to catch something bad, it's typically going to be in a
it's
hospital.
well, and they do stuff. So I also have to take injections for 30 days, uh, blood thinner injections to prevent blood clots.
Huh?
No training on this. Hey, do you feel comfortable doing this? Not me. So, know, Joey's giving me shots in my stomach
Yep.
every night. Which another is, yeah, that to me creeps me out.
So do is it do
Uh,
are they pre-filled syringes or do you have to?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it keeps it a little bit.
it's dummy proof, but
Now, in the
you
old
sit
days, they would
here,
just say take aspirin. They would just say, take a few aspirin to
yeah.
but I guess at your extreme advanced age, you they don't want to. They don't
I,
want.
I did feel awkward, like white trash awkward this morning because I had to call the doctor and request a refill of my oxycodone.
Really?
So yeah, and yeah, I don't know. I just felt I said, all right, I've never asked for this before, but just go
Oxycodone.
for
That's the is that stuff that rednecks in Kentucky end up leaving.
it.
That's the
Yeah,
bad stuff, right?
yeah,
They
yeah.
made
I
movies.
did
They
ask.
made movies about this stuff. Highly
Yeah, I
addictive.
did ask if yes, if they knew the street value of Oxy. Um, they didn't tell me that. Now, you don't remember much of it when you're coming out, but I started to remember some stuff here and there. And so like they'll tell you you can't feel your legs or anything right now. Try to move them. Try to wiggle your toes. And I said, oh man, I can't wiggle my toes. And he said, oh no, your toes are wiggling. And I said, what? And he said, yeah, look. And so then it probably became something I did 50 times or had this conversation 50 times where I was like moving my toes and wiggling my whole leg in pure amazement. Uh, I think I even asked the guy at some point, I said, man, imagine if you were getting paid by the word that you had to listen to from me right now. So I'm just talking so much.
Hey,
Then there was an older guy who I
glad to
guess,
be awake.
yeah,
Glad to come out the other side, man.
uh, um, this was probably me and not him, but this guy I saw it in like I guess post op, what they call it, or when you're recovering, who had got there about the same time as me this morning or that morning. I hadn't talked to him, I just saw him. Yeah. Then it was like we kept giving each other the thumbs up. And by we kept giving each other thumbs up, I'm pretty sure I was just looking at this dude and giving a thumbs up and expecting him to give it back to me
Who
every
was this
time.
guy?
Some guy who just had surgery that same day and got there about the same time as me.
Oh, you were bonding with fellow patients.
Yeah, yeah, just like across the way over there.
Give me
Giving
your
yeah,
give me your name and I'll mention you on the world famous David and Juan
yeah,
Wartime
yeah.
podcast. Well, so
But
so
yeah,
we're on the road hopefully to recovery.
it's good. I mean, it's the first day after surgery, like when all of that stuff wore off, dude, it was like major pain. And just like the oxy wouldn't last. By the time I was due to take another one, I was well in, hurting. So it had even got to the point where it would take maybe 20 minutes. It would feel good, and then it would go back to hurting.
And you better watch yourself. You
And
could end up being a movie of the week. You sound like you're ready. Man,
hey,
you're singing the
no,
praises of that
No. They don't give you more of that. They'll tell you to offset it with like some Tylenol or something.
Oh, okay.
So, and I'm pushing it back. Like today, you're supposed to take it every 4 hours. I think I did 6 today, or I took it again.
Start playing that game. Let's see how long my body can go with.
Yeah. It's that balance of it's like, they said, okay, it's a lot better to prevent the pain than it is to let it start hurting and stop the pain.
That's why, sadly, you're not a big drinker. You should. And I'm not talking about I'm not talking about Diet Dr. Peppers. I'm just, seems to me, be a time
What,
to
that I should be self-medicating a lot?
get a jar to pee in because you don't want to have to get up and get you one of those. I don't know if they
Yeah.
still sell those things. My grandpa used to have one of those.
Like the little bedpan thing or
No,
the thing
man, he
you pee
kept it
in?
in his car. It was like a bottle, like a, but it was for that purpose, man. If you had to,
I've seen things that you can hook it where people will actually run a hose through their car, like, and it just drains out,
okay.
where you don't even have to slow down.
No, he didn't have that, but he had some kind of bottle that was made for that. When I say made for that, it was some kind of medical looking bottle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess if you were in a car driving, and I don't know why or what caused that, but I always thought, get to a certain age, I'm just gonna drive around with my pee bottle.
Yeah. If I had one, I would have enjoyed it.
Hey, we did it on I used to do that on the Boy Scout campouts, man, and the tents. I'm not going in the middle of the night. I'm not going to find a.
No.
I'm not walking out into the woods. A Gatorade bottle. That's why you kept the Gatorade bottles. But
Yeah.
you well made sure in the morning you knew which ones were.
Knew which one to toss.
That's not lemon
So,
lime. That's not lemon lime Gatorade, man. Stay away from that. All right. Well, I'm getting glad. I'll say you're up and at 'em, but at least you're at 'em.
I'm moving good. I mean, I can, and that is odd that, or in my mind, it's, like I can get out of the chairs a lot easier and stuff like that, easier than I could early on. And one of the challenges, my bed is high, my sofa is low, and my recliner is a recliner. So there's no place to sit that's the best or the ideal height to get in and out of. So it was like you'd wake up during the night to pee, and I'd have to get Joey to come take my leg out of the bed.
Well, now when was the surgery? We're doing this on.
Tuesday.
So,
We're doing Monday, so it's a week ago tomorrow.
all right. So, are you? I mean, shy of being in pretty steady pain. Are you enjoying having a reason not to do anything? Not that you ever need a reason not to do anything,
I
but
don't. I'm not. I tell people often I'm not good at. Yeah, I don't like to do nothing, but I'm darn good at it.
give me
The
give me an excuse.
Today was kind of boring because Joey had been off all last week for her spring break, so it's just me uh, by myself. And I knew I wasn't going. I could have, if I tell the doctor, okay, I want to go back and work remotely, then he'll sign off on it. But the challenge with that is it's like, all righty, I'll work for 2 hours and then I got to take a break and I'll be tired. And the paperwork and all of that becomes, just a
You
nightmare.
need to get clear. You need to get cleared to go back to work remotely.
Yeah.
Dude, you're not a NASA
Because,
scientist. What the hell, man? Aren't you
but the
in Mar-
way they do it, it's a whole liability thing, Dave. We
Oh
got
man.
so
Oh,
because if
heaven
you're going to
forbid!
be,
While you're on Oxy, you're going to put out a bad marketing piece? I mean, come on.
it's not even that. It's if something were to, so I didn't realize because I happened to be in some training a couple of weeks ago, and they said, okay, if you're out on sick leave for more than 4 days consecutive, you have to get like your doctor to fill out a leave of absence. I
Okay.
said, okay. I said, well, I'm doing this. And they said, yeah, and then you got to get them to release you to come back. And I don't even have access to my email at work now. Can't
Oh,
log in. And look, there's a part of you want to say, they're a good company. They want to make sure, I'm taking care of myself. The other side of that is, something, I get ill or do this crap, and I'm saying, I wasn't ready to get out of my chair, but I had to get up and go do something. Uh, and they had granted permission, then they view that, hey, that could be liable. So, yeah, the liability is what can I not sue them for?
That or they might be figuring out, can we do this without you?
That's what I'm hoping.
You know what? We will miss you, but
Yeah.
all them youngins apparently stepped up. You're all good. I can see in the background when you swung your chair, though. Is that your Oxy? Is that your bottle of Oxy right there?
Oh, heck yeah. Right here, bro.
There you go, man. Special edition of the Dave and Juan More Time podcast. Diet Dr. Peppers and Oxycontin in the or cotton, whatever they call that stuff. Well,
I don't know. It's Oxyco on the label.
we're glad that you were coherent and up and at 'em.
As am I. As am
Are
I.
you going to try to go to work next week or?
Next week I'm gonna go. Yeah, but I don't. It's the odd thing that so you get, like home health comes out darn near every day,
Right.
and but I haven't seen the doctor yet or talked to the doctor.
Just be careful if it
talk-
ends up being visiting angels, because that's when things took a turn they didn't tell you about, Juan.
It's so, but no, I do not see him until next Tuesday.
Yeah, and he's not gonna do anything. He's gonna look at the charts.
No, he'll say you're good.
How you doing? Yeah. Yeah.
I guess home health sends him information or whatever, and that's
All right. So have you been watching? Been paying attention to any current events this week, or have you been just high on Oxy all week?
Not a lot, man.
Okay, so we'll catch up on some stuff here. Did you see where? We're still at war. In case you forgot about that, we're still
at war. That's that 24-hour deadline is.
Oh, that's funny, man. That's like Trump throwing out deadlines has less seriousness than the old Apprentice shows had on right. I mean, just so they do it to do it. It's all bluster. But then Iran started, like shut down the Strait of Hormuz, or they did stuff and threatened, and so our side. But I'll give credit to this. Like I said, I wish we weren't in this war. People, on both sides can tell me whether or not we need to be and who's doing it and who's, is the tail wagging the dog, what the heck's going on. But at least they, I agree with what they're doing now, telling Iran, oh, you think y'all going to shut the Strait of Hormuz? No. We're shutting it. And they moved all the U.S. naval assets there. And now the United States is saying, all right, we can play this game. We get to decide what comes and what goes, and not you. So sorry, China. Sorry, Russia. Sorry, so that really, on top of everything, so this is really going to hurt the Iranian, regime. I'm like more than just blowing up the country, because that, now we're getting serious. We're cutting the money off.
Yeah, right. Because I think when you start looking at what they care about, I mean, that's a job of a culture. Whereas it's like they'll fight you, you can blow them up 10 times. They'll keep fighting.
They've been planning on it forever. And when you've got a very small amount of people in charge, that they know that if justice was ever served, they'd either be dead or in prison. They're going to do
right.
anything.
They got nothing to lose.
Oh, by the way, I just described our government, not Iran. Those of you that thought I was talking about the mullahs, no. I'm talking about our quote unquote elected officials in DC. I just sort of I wasn't going there right now, but did you see this guy? And I'm sorry, what side you're on? This Eric Swalwell?
Oh, dude, yeah.
Okay, so this guy who you could there's some people, man. Listen, we're old guys now. Should not be judging the looks of people. And I guess I'm not saying he's not a bad looking guy. He's just got a look to him that if you told me whatever you told me this guy did, I'm believing you.
Yeah, he just looks like he's icky.
He looks icky. That's a great.
All right.
Okay, and it turns out he is icky. Very,
so
very
what was
icky.
Wasn't he in controversy before?
Yeah, he's the guy that was having an affair with a Chinese spy.
All right.
Fang, whatever. Yeah, so caught on that. Like he was his thing was funded, and he was basically in a relationship with a spy. But he's apparently more slimy than that. And the fact that he dropped out he was running for governor now, because that's what these slimeball politics.
He did drop?
Yeah, he dropped out, which tells you how how dead to right they have this guy on sexual assault. I want to say, and I'm reading a bunch of stuff that says rape. Now, that might, I don't know if that is, I don't know if I don't think he's been charged with it yet, but I know he's been accused of what's the line between sexual misconduct and, one of the stories out is that like one of the people he works with or one of his interns or whatever was out, and next thing she knows, she's waking up the next morning, so she was apparently drugged.
So
And
it's with adults and females.
I believe so. Now, I'll tell you the world we're living in that we're like saying, well, at least it was adults.
Yeah.
It may have been but anyway. So that'll tell you how serious and how dead to right the guy is that he's actually dropped out. But also, this is a guy who's been on TV every minute he can, sliming Trump and accusing Trump of apparently a bunch of what he's been doing. But the things that are driving me crazy now is people coming out and going, oh, yeah, everybody knows. Everybody knew. Like everybody around there knew what a slime ball he was and knew some of the stuff. And I'm like, how degenerate are most of the people up there?
Well, it's all of them, man. They're not. I mean, when you start digging in this, these are high profile people. It's not like he's living like a hermit.
No. And it's out, and a lot of stuff's out in public. And like I said, all his peers.
They're never the serial killer type story where they talk to the neighbor and just saw the dude in his grass and cut his grass once a week, but that's about it.
Yeah. No, never would have expected it. Not these guys. Whenever, or women, anytime something comes out, I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah, but anyway.
I'm surprised I just find it out now.
Yeah. We all knew. Nobody said, well, that's the thing, too. So they're all. It's all mutually, we've talked about this before. It's all mutually assured destruction. They all have so much crap on each other that
right.
That's what happens. And now I think it's to the point.
Well, you can hear a thing about plausible deniability. Now it's just that we just got dirt on each other. So it's instead of plausible deniability, you just have leverage.
And I think both sides now are sort of have the attitude of, okay, what are you going to do? We're not going to police ourselves. We're not going to throw any of us out, especially the Republicans. Republicans are the weakest. I mean, I'm sorry. They give the Democrats credit for something. I can look and say like, man, that was illegal. That's terrible. That's one of the most immoral things I've ever seen. But when they got power, they use it. I mean, they. But
you don't remember his face, but it was way back when Romney was running for president. And it came out, I guess maybe a senator or a congressman was basically saying that he had cheated on his taxes.
Harry Reid, one of the most corrupt. Harry Reid, a vile human being. And he was the Senate leader. I think he was head of the Senate for a while, but then he was also. When he wasn't head of the Senate, he was head of the Senate and Democratic.
Right, minority party or whatever.
And he went out and flat out knowingly told a blatant lie on Romney.
And then when it was done, they said he didn't win, did he?
Yeah, it worked, didn't it? So, okay, but that's sort of on us too. When I used to say that, I used to say it was on us. But now I think it's sort of on us, but I don't know how totally on us it is because we also know that the elections are all rigged anyway. And I know, where's the tinfoil hat, right? No, they are. We see that now. They are. We have people fighting tooth and nail to keep you from having to show an ID to vote. I mean, yeah. What a concept. The rest of the world, you need to show who you are in order.
Well, I don't know if it was a meme or it was serious today where Bernie Sanders said, I wouldn't even know where to get a birth certificate.
Well, but in all honesty, Bernie Sanders was born before they printed birth certificate. I mean, Bernie Sanders' birth certificate was probably carved into a tree somewhere, but yeah. So anyway, that's I don't want to get too depressed there. Well, this isn't depressing, but it's kind of not funny. I think it's kind of funny, but other people get all upset about it. You see where Trump decided, you know what, I'm going to put the Pope in his place.
So tell me, because I've seen the headlines, but didn't get the details.
I'm not going to pull it up as his full statement, but cause he was doing one of these waiting to get on the helicopter kind of deals talking. And now look, the Pope Pope started it, right? I mean, the Pope is felt obliged to, he's the one that said, "Oh, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Oh, but bombing from the sky should not be allowed." And we're like, "Well, what? You'd rather us like be losing thousands of people on the
Yeah.
ground? Oh, violence is always bad." Blah blah blah. And look, and it's funny though. And again, talking as a Catholic here, but said this before too. A lot of Catholics who were like, "Hey, we listened for
Yeah.
things to do with the church. All right." You start getting into politics, we're like, we kind of wish you wouldn't.
That's my whole thing. It's like just, and it almost sounds hypocritical to say stay in your lane because, like, okay, well, I guess we're country's out of our lane. The but Dennis Miller did something years ago, and he said, "Shouldn't Pope stick to that? Hell is hot thing." Um,
Yeah. Like, here's your lane, stay. But anyway, Trump was basically saying he's not a big fan of Pope Leo, and he was talking. And here's what throws people off. He's talking about the Pope like he would talk about a congressman, like he would talk about the leader of a foreign nation. He's
yeah,
just basically saying, um, he wants suffering. What do you want? What's he want? He wants Iran to have a nuclear weapon. And guess what? You know how many millions of people are going to die? Like, so he was basically saying, hey, in so many words, I'd prefer you just kind of sat
yeah.
this one out. Now people freak out when again, oh, he's going after he didn't go after the church. I guess technically
Yeah.
you could say if he went after the Pope, he went
Well,
after the church. But hey, again, and then the Pope came up with an answer after, and I'm going to be honest, man. I mean, people can get mad, will say that his answer was kind of weak. His answer to Trump was basically saying, "Well, I'm not afraid to speak make my mind, and and I'm not going to get into the controversy." I'm like, you kind of did.
yeah, you started, and that's my whole thing. Is you just don't, again, stay in your lane. Pray for everybody.
Oh,
Don't condemn no one.
also, very, 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 very pro flood United States with non-citizens. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
so from when that's where you're starting from, But again, Juan, when we're elected, we'll get all that. I used to,
No.
yeah. But I'll be your vice president. I don't want the top job. I, I think I want to be JD Vance. Just pop up every now and then,
Come home early.
get a project. Yeah. I want to give a shout out to just I don't know if you ever heard of this guy named John DeSantis. He's an author who wrote a book called the Thibodaux Massacre. Anyway, my
I
son,
know I've heard of it.
yeah. So
But
my
is there
son is
no? There's another who DeSantis. There's another. I'm thinking Ron DeSantis.
no. But yeah, right. But
Yeah.
the same last name. But he's the
Yeah.
guy's originally from New York. I think he used to be a cop or something else. But anyway, he wrote the book. He's spoken at Nichols. I don't know if he spoke commencement before years ago but anyway, he wrote the book. My son has to. One of his last projects is something is covering on the Thibodaux Massacre. He was assigned.
Okay.
Now listen,
When was that?
18 something. So
Was it Civil
dude,
War related? What
was that? No, man.
was it
Here's the
related?
deal. Here's what's interesting. You and I lived in Lafourche Parish for most of our lives. I mean, still go back all the time. I mean, Thibodaux all the time. I never heard of the Thibodaux Massacre.
Mm-mm.
So again, I'm not. For those of you that know what I'm talking about, forgive me if I get the dates wrong, but it was in 18 something, and this was back when the they weren't sharecroppers. They were, I guess, laborers. They weren't technically slaves. They were free people, but
I forgot what they called them.
sharecroppers. No, they weren't sharecroppers. They
No,
were
I wasn't sure. It was indentured servants.
well. I don't think that was the official what they called it, but okay, that's what it was. So, but living in places like Laurel Valley, various plantations around, around, and there's a union that formed, something Knights. I should have pulled the sheet up, but I'm sorry. But so anyway, basically a labor union kind of stuff to go on strike. They wanted
Hmm.
and if you look back, it was pretty. They weren't treated great. I mean,
If if I remember correctly, and this may be more in line with indentured servants, most plantations back then had their own money,
Correct. It's called script,
and
company
that
script.
and they
Right.
had like a company store. So you got paid in the company with the script,
Right.
and so you had to buy your stuff from them.
Correct. So they didn't exactly, and it was way jacked up prices. So
Right,
so
right.
not only were you not getting paid very much at all, and we're talking like $1 or something a day, if that. But you weren't being paid in money; you were paid in company money that you could only buy stuff in the store, and it'd be like being like stuck in an airport. You know what everything costs in an
Yeah,
airport?
right.
Way too much. Okay, so anyway, they formed and they waited till the start of grinding season apparently, and they went on strike. They were not working. They were not going to work the fields. They were not going to do whatever. Well, they called in. I don't. It's not the National Guard, but anyway, they called in officials and everything to throw people out of the living quarters that they were in to put, I guess, they call them scabs, but other workers.
Right. Other workers.
Bring in
Somebody.
other
Yeah.
workers, okay, and then they ran these people out of the company housing, and a lot of them ended up going into Thibodaux, and they were staying in various parts of what I think they actually referred to it as the black section of Thibodaux. I mean, it was you talk about segregation now. There was crazy segregation back then.
Mhm.
So there were a lot of people living almost like in a camp kind of deal. And then on one morning, in November, I forget the morning here, I don't have it in front of me, but apparently a few folks, including somebody who later became a congressman, went out and just started pulling people out of houses and bringing them to like the train tracks and stuff and saying, run for your life. And they were shooting them. They shot them. So the estimates.
So, in other words, the people trying to unionize were the
Correct.
ones who were
Yeah.
getting shot.
The workers that had been run out of the housing on these various plantations
Hmm.
around here. And the estimates are all over the place because the official, which is not true because they tried to cover it all up. They claimed there was about 7 or 8 people killed. Other people passing down through history think it's more like 50 or 60 people that were killed, and they left them. They left them in the fields. They some of them they left in like a wooded area. They just basically killed a bunch of people and left them all over the place. And then the rumor is that there was a group burial, a plot, whatever, that's at one of the VFW homes right now in Thibodaux. Like they think they did, and they've done studies, and so it's an interesting story. I'm gonna actually get the book. Going back to this guy DeSantis wrote the
So,
book.
does he have connection to the bayou?
I don't think so, man. I think he's from New York. I mean, I'm not sure where he
Okay.
lives now, but he was obviously down here doing that. But anyway, I thought there was no way in the world that Abe could get him, to talk. But anyway,
Oh, so he got it. All right.
spoke to him last night. Yeah, so he was kind enough to do an interview on the phone with and like I said, I even reached out. I found the guy on LinkedIn and I put the old, hey, I know my son's been trying to reach you and da 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 da. But I didn't put my son's information on the thing, so he didn't. He went through my son's
Yeah.
deal. But so anyway, long way to say shout out to that guy. I thought there was no way in the world this dude would take the time, but he and I'm gonna. It's called the Thibodaux Massacre. It's a story I think I'm gonna read up on it. It's
Yeah, it sounds interesting. I love, history that relates to something that is, really kind of in your own backyard, so to speak.
yeah, not the kind of history you wanna.
No, but it's interesting. It's, good story that's not that widely told.
Yep, yep. Have you ever? I'm just jumping around here. Have you ever lost your wallet?
Yeah, yeah. I don't carry a wallet often.
Yeah.
But when I did, I've lost them.
Like for good? They had to go replace everything?
No, I found it. I think I've ended more where I've dropped like a card or a debit card or something out of my wallet.
Dude, we went to see a play. We've been doing that a lot lately. We just stacked up with some plays. A hobby center, big hobby center play called Six, the Broadway tour of a musical called Six, and it's based on the wives of King Henry, the six wives. And honestly, I mean, incredibly talented young ladies, all girl cast, even the band. is so I kind of got a feeling halfway in that I was going to get a little tired of the girl power. You know, a lot of stuff about the patriarchy, and I'm just like, I got it. I get it. I get it. I'm sitting there and, but I'm sitting, I was on the first row. Okay. Which was not fantastic seats because it was to the side, so it
Yeah.
was partial, but, good enough. And thankfully most of all the action happened right toward the front of the stage. So it actually ended up being, really good seats. But, so we're there and it's, my wife and then my son is the music guy. So go to leave, and I want to just run to the car. And my son's like, I gotta go to the restroom before we leave. I'm like, all right. So we have go downstairs and we're waiting outside the big, and it's a ways away, waiting, standing outside the restrooms. Big crowds coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. And then we, work our way toward the entrance of the hobby center. And as I'm walking, I got a suit on, and I'm like, my phone, whatever, back pocket, empty.
Nothing.
Nothing. It's like, wait a minute. So I'll be doing my front pockets, doing my coat. Not that I would have put it in my jacket.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no. And I'm thinking, man, I was in that bathroom area, as crowds, I was thinking pickpocket. Oh, jeez. So I turned around to my wife and my son, said, I have my wallet. I lost my wallet. And they're like, oh no. So, and I was a good ways from back into the theater, especially back to the first row. And all the crowd is coming this way, coming downstairs, right? Man, I go swimming. I mean, there's no way in the world. I figured, man, I'm already thinking, oh man, I don't even know what I got in my wallet. Like all the stuff I have to cancel, all the, besides.
Right. That becomes it's not just the security of we go to somebody, chance when nobody's going, clean out your bank account, but it's with all effort I've got to do.
Wasn't
to
that
go
worried
get
about?
everything.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that. About the bank account, I don't sweat. The credit card you got to get on, and
Right.
it's just a pain in the neck, and driver's license, and then Lord knows what else. So I got in there, and I just go walking. I just figured there's no freaking way, man. I walk up there. There's my wallet on the ground, right near. It apparently fell out through the seat, just sitting. I mean, flapped open in the on the ground, and so everybody walked by it, I guess, or maybe they didn't. And dude, the money was still in it. I mean, everything. It was miracle. It was like, well, that was 1 in 100. That
Yeah. It's like you also got to, this party says, well, does that mean nobody saw it? Or nobody saw it, or they would have saw it. They should have taken it as lost and found. But
that's
either
what
way,
I'm
at least
thinking. I
nobody's-
would have if I had found somebody's wallet there, I would have opened it up to see who they were. Now,
Right.
most of us don't have our phone numbers in our wallet, but yeah, I would have picked it up. I would have, or I would have maybe put it on the seat,
Yeah.
but then you put it on the seat, then somebody else is going to come along and take it, I know my son had that happen years ago when he first started driving. I think he got out of his car and dropped his wallet because they like to wear shorts, and they wear shorts with pockets that are not very good.
Or just the pockets in the front and not made to carry a wallet.
Dropped his wallet. Wallet fell out. So later on that day when he figured out, oh man, he lost his wallet, we just drove back just on the whim. And guess what? His wallet was there. All the money was gone, but the wallet was there. So they didn't take his debit card. They didn't take his license, but they took the cash. And that's back when my sons they carried a lot. They always just carried cash, man. Birthday cash, this cash. It's good to be young when parents and grandparents are always giving you money for stuff and they don't have to buy anything. So
Yeah. It's my daughter doesn't like to carry cash. She likes to put her cash in the bank.
That's it. It's easier to spend for them. You can't spend cash online.
Right. But like some of her friends in the summer, I think they didn't even realize you could go put cash in the bank.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well,
Uh-huh.
once they learn. Oh, we were at dinner the other night. Again, I don't think it was the night of, it wasn't the night of the play, but anyway, so we're out, one of these days, let's just go to dinner as my wife, my son, and we ended up seeing some people that we knew out there, and go to pay. And my wife's on the cash kick. She likes paying cash. Not for any reason besides she just likes nobody has a record of what we do. But we're
Yeah, that's just too much effort for me to
trying to
carry
figure out
cash.
trying to figure out if we had enough cash on us, and I realized my son's sitting there, and I guarantee you he's got the cash. He pulls out a hundy. I'm like,
Yeah, and I've never been that because everything for me. So like, if I would carry $100 bill or if I would carry cash to that extent, then once I broke it, then the 20s become, just whatever, just throwing those around. And and it's more of a mental thing to me. I mean, it's just like the cash. It's easier for me to spend cash than anything else.
yeah, I
The
like doing cash, like I said, just because I don't think about it. Once you spend it, it's gone. And I'm not going to buy big things cash, but I
yeah,
prefer like, hey, like it's almost like this never happened. I don't want to see a bill later. It's just here it is. I took this random piece of paper. By the way, I just looked at the picture you sent me. Oh my God, Juan, we're not going to show that to anybody.
no, you don't see that, man.
Man, they took you got some stitches in there, buddy. That's a long
Yeah,
one. Um, and then while I'm just ranting about stuff, I got an email. I think I saved this from. So Lifetime Fitness is my gym down the street here, and so I don't know why they sent this to me because I am not a pickleball. I'm not a pickleballer, Juan. You may know that.
you're in the demographics, man. You're in the demographic.
But anyway, they had. Oh, I thought I'd saved it. So apparently they had a pickleball tournament recently for money, like a cash whatever, competition. Okay, here we go. And apparently there were rules to how to play, and like if you're a certain level player, you can't play in it. I guess who knows, right? Well, apparently there was some cheating went going on, Juan, and I'm thinking, if there was
Well, I
one
guess it could be like tennis. Don't you? You can different rankings in tennis.
it says for our combined DUPR, I don't even know what DUPR stands for. We actively verify players and participants to ensure integrity within each division. For this past inaugural, so they were cheating from the very beginning. You pickleball, whatever. 25 teams. This person saying, I personally reviewed the duper ratings. And anyway, but after the game, it was found out that somebody had another profile. So that's how much they were cheating. They were basically playing under an alias, or
So,
at
in other
least
words, this wasn't their first attempt at cheating.
no. So, but all matches had already been completed anyway. So they're giving the second place team the money and blah blah blah. And I'm just laughing because when I walk by that gym area where the pickleball's going on, I did it today, and I look at them and I think y'all look like the kind of people that would cheat. Everyone, most of y'all out here, you bunch of pickleballers, look like y'all cheat.
Dude, they've got, I don't know, we've talked about this 100 times, but I was somewhere the other day. They've got these, like big chains, like chain pickleball things that go take over like old Win Dixies and stuff like that. And it turns it into a pickleball complex.
It's jumped the shark. They're still doing that, but they opened up a big fancy pickleball/restaurant thing here in Houston. It shut down in under a year. I mean, it's going to make it in some things, but I guarantee you, like Lifetime Fitness spent a bajillion dollars putting outside courts. They converted one of the basketball courts inside into 3 pickleball courts. Now that's
Hmm.
always busy, but they must have built 20 pickleball courts outside. Man, I guarantee you those things aren't used.
There's Gordon McKernan, the big injury attorney
Yeah, yeah.
here. He opened a complex, I don't know, a year or so ago. But you can play pickleball, you can go there for dinner. You want to go for happy hour. It's kind of like a multi-use facility, and they say it's really nice. It's got good food, so even people who don't play pickleball go. I'm not,
Yeah.
um, but
I just thought it was funny that they sent me the email like, I don't I don't care, but I'm glad to know you guys all cheat. Um
well, we're talking about sports that aren't sports, so to speak. I saw an article right before we logged on. Let me see if I can find it here. Um, the a cornhole champion had been indicted on first degree murder uh, in Maryland. Uh, Now the killer about that, not the killer, so to speak. He's the killer, or allegedly.
I guess while you pull this up, by the
Dude.
way, your voice. So those of you on the listening to the podcast, you can still hear Juan. Those of you max headrooming on the video now.
Oh, am I? Okay.
That's okay. It's all right.
Um,
It's entertaining. Stop
the
action.
dude he's a quadruple uh amputee.
I think I saw that.
Yeah.
So
So
no arms.
no arms, no legs, but the dude's a cornhole champion
Cornhole champion
and shot somebody.
and capable of killing somebody. That's an overachiever, man.
Self-defense. Self-defense. I guess they were trying to make him as the cornhole beanbag or something.
Well, I don't know,
So
man.
in the hole.
That's sad that we say that. Well, man, that's sad. You shouldn't shoot somebody, but that's impressive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They got a lot of people with two good arms and two good legs. They couldn't hit the side of a barn with a gun. This guy apparently he's not only a cornhole champion, he can shoot for effectiveness. Hey,
Takes care of himself.
So back in our having radio flashbacks, I went to Mississippi last week, and I broke to stay out of the airports. I broke the trip into a drive. So I put in some hours, bro. I drove 6 hours or 5.5, 6 hours from here to Louisiana, slept there. The next day, drove up to Starkville, did my deal.
Beautiful downtown Stark Vegas,
man. I was on the Mississippi State area campus. It wasn't that bad. It was nice.
No, it's nice. I mean, people make fun of it. I've been to a couple of LSU games in Starkville, and it's nice.
Yeah, so I got my 6 hours back and 6 hours back. So I spent about 24 hours last week behind the wheel. And I'll say this again. Shout out to the Nissan Altima. I rented, Hertz car. They gave me a Nissan Altima. You know what? Those cars are simple. There ain't much fancy about them, but man, they ride good. Everything is where it's supposed to be. I like when I'm in a car.
Good mid-level car.
I like when I'm in a car and I don't gotta try to figure anything out. Like where you think something's supposed to be, that's where it is. And when you tank this thing up, dude, the cruising range on it was 520 something miles. I mean, 100%. I told my wife, I said, man, if I had to do a ton of driving, if I work now and I had to go into the city, I'd get me a Nissan Altima. I just, but anyway, I'm driving through the bayou, and you never worked at 1600 AM KLEB, but so I did. That's where I first kicked in, and that's the station that used to be side by side. It used to be KLEB, and then Bayou 94 FM. Again, on the new, has been sold, new owners, and so 94.3 is something else now. KLEB is still KLEB, with apparently a much bigger signal than it used to have. Juan, I was in Mississippi. I crossed over now granted it's over water and stuff because I don't know where it's at, but I was picking up KLEB AM when I crossed the Mississippi line. And there's another station that it's a sister station. So they got an FM station. But my point is, and I love, they were listening to I had a cousin that does sports for them, or he
where are they based out of though?
I think it's LaRose. I think they're still in LaRose.
Okay.
But I will give credit. I mean, I'm not making this up. So leading into a South Lafourche baseball game, which is kind of funny. I'm old school the way I like listening to. I could care less about South Lafourche baseball, but I was listening to the game being called, just getting flashbacks to like, all right.
Yeah.
But leading into the game, this was the music. And I was trying to remember what the format was. The first song that they played was, it's a Frank Sinatra song, but it wasn't Frank Sinatra. It was maybe the version before him, and I can't remember what it was. But it's sort of like almost like a Vegas show tune kind of oldie kind of song. And I'm thinking, all right, I can see. Maybe it's an older demographic. That's my hand to God, Juan. It went from there to Ted Nugent, Cat Scratch Fever. The next song was Ozzy. I forget what Ozzy song it was. The song after that was some country song. I mean, it was like,
obviously they're not mixing beats per minute,
dude. It was like, somebody's personal Spotify.
Yeah, I was gonna say just like a playlist.
But you know what? I kind of dug it. It was weird because the songs are all good. Now, in the old days, you'd say anybody who would actually want to hear some show tune does not want to hear Cat Scratch Fever, but it turns out you do.
Doesn't hurt.
Into
I
Ozzy.
told you after we went to see that play a couple of weeks ago, I played a bunch of ABBA in my car.
Oh man, there's never a bad time for ABBA. Juan. Never a bad time for ABBA. And it's tax week. Did you get your taxes done yet? Or you wait until the 15th?
No, I'm waiting till the 15th.
Yeah, I gotta wait. I gotta wait my
I'll just file an extension, but
shows you how messed up it is. I know. I need my CPA to tell me what I just wonder if I can just cut it straight to the Somali daycares this year.
yeah, really. So, and I think I got a file for my daughter. She's made income. And I got a file for my late mother-in-law.
Well, I did I did my mom's. Which just annoys me to all get out that a senior at that stage still has to pay tax. It's like, really, at what point? But I intentionally am not electronic filing her. I am putting as much pay. I want to make it as difficult as possible for whoever takes the money to sort through the check and the forms and no. I want to send it still. There's somebody being paid on that end. I'm not doing it for the ease of anybody. Here you go.
Forget sending it in like a flat mailer. Just fold it all up and jam it in like
I folded it in half.
One.
Yeah, I folded it in half. I mean, they can, like I said, suck on that. I mean, I don't. I'm not. That's it. It's especially annoying this year paying taxes. It really is. With all the fraud, with all the stuff that's come to a head, we just realize, we are just like being robbed blind.
Oh, we got over the weekend came in the mail. Our fee for my wife drives a hybrid car, so I've got to pay a $60 fee for that.
I saw that, man. I was doing my mom's Louisiana taxes, and yeah, I saw like, wait, a fee?
That's to make up what you save money on, what you're not paying in gas tax.
Come on, Louisiana, be better, man. Be better. Come on, Jeff. What you doing?
Yeah, and if it's a full electric, then it's $100, and then if it's just hybrid, it's $60.
And by the way, just for everybody that's living on AI now, and that's in my algorithm, and I'm just reading about AI and doing all the stuff, AI. And sadly, people are trusting this stuff forever. And don't get me wrong, it's very, very useful. I've talked about this, how we use it. Okay, man, not making this up. Wake up in the morning and send. Most mornings, I try. Most mornings, like I guess 9 out of 10, if I forget, I've started the routine, or want to do it. I'll say a rosary. All right, I'll do a rosary in the morning, and sometimes before I get out of bed, or maybe the first thing I do before I start the day. I just doesn't take that long. It's a good way to
first to the Lord.
So that's my ground. I'm ground. There's some ground. Do a rosary now, and I've been learning. I forget. The mysteries, and you do different mysteries. So I usually sitting there in the morning thinking, what's the day? I want to double check. So I'll just hit my phone. I hit on chat, and I'll just type in rosary today, rosary mystery today. Okay. And it'll come up, and it's tell you, oh, it's this, what they are, and even an explanation if you want them, which is very handy. So I'm in Mississippi, hotel room, get up, just getting up, I sit up, rub my eyes, type into the phone, rosary today, pops up. Well, since today is Tuesday, and it gives me the mysteries, and I'm sitting there half asleep thinking, today's not Tuesday. I enter back. Today is Thursday. It responds, you're absolutely right. Good catch. Now, you want to talk about make me doubt everything that has ever been spit out there? Dude, it doesn't know the day of the week. And I even asked it. I said, how can you miss by 2 days? It's a little disconcerting. And I'm typing this into chat. It's a little disconcerting that you missed the day by 2 days. And then it gave me this long thing about how it works, and that it's not a calendar, and it infers and blah, 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 blah. And, and given the reason about why it misinterpreted whatever, and it gave the wrong day. And I'm like, I said today. So if somebody types in today, isn't that shouldn't that be a trigger?
Yeah, it's pretty much, a universal word.
Shouldn't be a trigger, but yeah, so they're all designed to give you the quickest, easiest answer that you will take. And sometimes it's right. A lot of times it's not. So do what I do.
Well, there are things, and we may have talked about it, where there's shortcuts you can put into it, or you can lock it in so that it.
Yeah.
doesn't give you all the compliment. Doesn't. That's a great question, Dave. Or
you got to tell it.
that,
Yeah, be more. Yeah, I'm seeing more and more. How do you have to program it yourself? What I typically do is I take whatever I get. If it's something important or something, the piece of data I'm trying to get, I'll take it from chat or Grok, and then vice versa. I have them check each other. I basically copy paste and enter it, and basically have them debate. And once I can get both sides deciding, I figure, okay, that's probably what it is. Just like if I ask chat right now to check with Grok to say, hey, you think the buffet is laid out before you think we've done enough for the 249th? Because Juan's got a date with some Oxy coming up soon. We're going to push the button. Get on out of here. See if any of this stuff stuck to the magic tape up in the sky. We hope it did. Hey, if you want to reach us, not hard to do. It's Dave and Juan at protonmeal.com.
And right here, wherever here happens to be.
You did it once or twice or maybe 249
times.
You can hopefully do it again. Every week we tell you it's not a hint, suggestion, or subtle, a little implying it. No, it's a freaking mandate. We are telling you, a mandate. Get out there and live your best life. Do your best. Juan's living his best life right now. If somebody,
I don't know that I'd go with that description, but I'm living.
If somebody broke into Juan's house right now, about all he could do is offer him some pills.
Yeah, I'd have to reach around, get my walker. I'd have to take the throw pillow off my lap. So
man.
How
about you come back another time?
Steady the computer.
Come back another time so I can fight you. But here, I got some Oxy for you. This is probably what you were looking for anyway.
Yeah.
Be off with your bad self. But so we're gonna get on out of here. We again next week. If I don't think we have anything conflicting, should be the we're back for the 250. 250.
All right, man.
What
is that? It's not a bicentennial. Is there something in the middle? Huh?
It's something. We'll figure out what it's called by next week.
Right.
But so America, be prepared to dress accordingly. I mean, we're
celebratory music, fireworks,
wear something nice for next week's podcast. But and get out of here. We're gonna check, take notes. We'll get back, compare notes, all that stuff, and hopefully Juan will be kicking people again by next week.
Yeah, man. I may have put shoes on by then.
We might, Juan may do calisthenics for us on air.
Yep. Still be taking just a whole bath. But
tell me something, man. Now that you got that, when you do stuff, does it make that no $6 million man noise?
Faintly in the back. I'm having to program it into it.
Get Joey to film you. I want to see you like chasing a car. I want to see what speed you can get running in front of a car, man.
Yeah. Not very fast.
He's Mr. Bionic. All right, everybody, you guys have a fantastic one. We'll see you next week. Love you, bro.
Back at you, dude. So my sister called me the other day, and I was just talking and said that my dad found a new dentist the other day, and probably because he hadn't been to the dentist in forever. And I'm not saying he hadn't been this century, but there's a good chance that he hadn't.
Hey, nothing hurts.
And then said so they're waiting, waiting to hear what's going on, all the details going to be everything he needs. Gets on me, calls and said, everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
90-something-year-old man ain't been to the dentist in 20-something years.
Yeah, I went a couple months ago to get 3 crowns and all that other crap. And
your dad was built to last, bro.
Well, he's in training right now for his Council on Aging games.
What a clean bill of health on the dental. He's ready to go, man.
He's ready to go. Got his new shoes and all in.
And if there's a corn eating contest, he's ready to go on that too.
It's over. Go home.